If you're watching Mighty Morphin Season 3 or Power Rangers Zeo for the first time, then heads up, as this podcast will have some spoilers for both those seasons.
Hey there, guys and girls and Power Ranger fans all over the world. It's time for a very special GoldKingRanger podcast with your hosts, GoldKingRanger and...
Admin ScottishRedRanger.
Yes, and today is a very special day in Power Ranger history because today is the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers Zeo.
Yes, the 20th anniversary of Zeo.
20 years ago today, Power Rangers Zeo first aired on television in 1996. Very exciting. So, it was the first time we had a new team of Rangers, a new Ranger series, new Zords,
so wasn't the first time we had a new team of Rangers? That the Alien Rangers beat us.
We had a new Ranger team series. Obviously, because Alien Rangers was a mini-series, and they were the team to proceed onto Zeo, but you get the drill.
And this is a special season. It actually did a lot of parts to Power Rangers.
Including a lot of good highlights, including some of the Rangers changing their colours, like Tommy becoming the Red Ranger, Adam becoming green, Rocky becoming blue. Tanya joined the series towards the very last episode of Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, or Mighty Morphin rather, however you want to put it. She joined in the place of Aisha. As you guys remember from Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, throughout that 10 episode mini-series, the young Rangers were going looking for the Zeo crystal in time. So Tommy found the red Zeo crystal in the past, Catherine found hers in Australia. Tommy found his from his original culture, basically. Adam in the past in, I think it was China, I believe. Yes. Rocky was in Spain or Mexico in the past, where he got his Zeo crystal from what believed to be his Uncle Pablo, but when he was a boy. And then Aisha went to, I believe it was Africa,
Yeah.
And she got her Zeo crystal from the help of Tanya and her tribe, but that's when Aisha stayed behind to help the animal plague, so that's really good. And that's when it continued, where the command center blew up because Rito and Goldar snuck inside the command center and put an implosion device, and it blew up the command center. And a lot of Power Ranger fans were left wondering, was that the end of Power Rangers? After 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin, was it the end? Nope, because the Rangers a Zeo beginning, they found the Zeo crystal in the rubble of the exploded command center. They go on into the chamber under the ground, and then the command center rebuilds itself and becomes the power chamber. Turns out Zordon and Alpha are survived, which is excellent, but then Rita and Lorza get booted off the moon because the Machine Empire arrives, and it just changed Power Ranger history forever.
And though that the Zeo crystal was set up early in season 3, and then it became a new power source for the Power Rangers, and it got its own season. So the fact that this was all set up very well.
And it was also around that time where Billy literally gave up being a Ranger to allow Tanya to become a Ranger, which was very selfless of him. And it was interesting to see a Ranger give up his powers and work in the power chamber, which was very interesting. But it was still sad to see Billy not be a Ranger anymore. But overall, I think Power Rangers Zeo was a really brilliant series, because it brought a lot of cool monsters and characters, and it also brought back Jason.
And robots as well.
Yeah, it was interesting to have robot villains as well. I mean, King Mondo, Queen Machina, Prince Sprocket, Clank and Orbis, Prince Gasket, Archerina, Louis Kaboom, and all these crazy robot monsters, and the Cogs as the foot soldiers, the Tango Warriors. Or as if I recall, Tommy said, or it was either Tommy or Rocky said, I will never thought I would miss Rita and Zed's Tangos. Those Cogs are brutal. And yeah, I can pretty tell, because I mean, come on, fighting robots from fighting feathered birds to Cogs, fighting robots it was very interesting.
It was also the first season to bring back a previous Ranger from a previous season.
Jason Lee Scott, who was the original Red Ranger, who then became the Gold Ranger. And that's in fact one of the big mysteries when they brought in the Gold Ranger, was a lot of fans were questioning who was this mysterious Gold Ranger. Obviously, one person and a lot of fans guessed, or probably thought, it was going to be Billy.
Oh, they set up a Billy a lot.
Another was Skull, and then the third, who was the third? Who can remember the third? Can you?
Yes, it was Tommy's brother.
David, yes, Tommy's brother David. He was the third. Was there any more characters? Maybe if you know, maybe you can comment below and tell us.
This was years ago. It was 20 years ago. So it's also, we did get our first ever Ranger team up.
That's right. In the episode Rangers of Two Worlds, where we had the Alien Rangers team up with the Zeo Rangers, which was very cool. So that was another first thing we had in Power Ranger history.
And I feel like people remember that was the first team up, but they seem to forget the Alien Rangers, which is unfortunate. But when Alien Rangers were part of that first team up.
It was nice to see the Alien Rangers in some parts of the series. I mean, we saw Sestro come back because he needed Billy's help on the planet Aquitar with the hydro contaminators. You'll have to watch Graduation Blues. You have to watch that one. Then I liked seeing Delphine and Sestro return. In fact, it was you only got to see Sestro, Delphine, and Orico in the Zeo series, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, that you only got to see those three Alien Rangers in the Zeo series. But it was still pretty cool to see them again. But back to Power Rangers Zeo. So, questions now. We have a few questions from the audience. So, are we ready, Scottish Red Ranger?
Yeah.
Okay, first question. What was your favourite episode of Power Rangers Zeo and why? Do you want to start us off?
Well, I like the Gold Ranger saga. I love the saga from the start and beginning. But I'm going to, since I can't choose my favourite, I'm going to say my favourite is the first one, Zeo episode I watched. Now, I wasn't born, I was born when Zeo came out, but I wasn't really old enough to have memories as some people are. So the first episode I saw was on TV and for Power Rangers Generations, a Jetix show, like the old Power Ranger episodes, and the first episode I saw was A Brief Mystery of Time.
Well, my first Power Rangers Z episode was, if I recall, I think it was Lost and Found, which was the episode just after Challenges, where Tommy finds his brother on the reservation. Favourite episode is A Golden Homecoming, where Jason comes back and becomes the Gold Ranger. That was definitely one of my favourite episodes. And another highlight for the episode was when we got to see these Super Zeozords, which is another one of my favourite Megazords, because it was so cool, and it was another Megazord where we had 5 individual Zords that all morphed into one, and they were like the individual Zords that were based on the Rangers, which was very cool as well, and that was very exciting.
Again, I'm going to say A Brief Mystery of Time is my favourite Zeo episode, just because it was my first, but I again like to have multiple favourites.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Oh yes.
Okay, favourite Zeo Ranger?
It's going to have to be Jason. Jason's my favourite Ranger, the Mighty Morphin, so he's my favourite as the Gold Ranger. But I also did like Trey as the Gold Ranger, but I'm biased towards Jason. So.
I think I have to say it's two. Yeah, it's Tommy and Jason. Tommy because obviously, legend Tommy becoming Zeo Red Ranger became leader once again. And then obviously Jason, Gold Ranger, and I love Gold Ranger, and the Gold Ranger happens to be our GoldKingRanger mascot as well, which is pretty cool. But I love all the Zeo Rangers, if I'm honest. I love each Ranger. I love that Tanya loves singing, and it was really good to see her character to develop throughout the entire series. And in one episode where she finds her long lost parent, which is really good, a really good episode. But it was sad that we didn't get to see them in any other episode. Okay, so are we moving on?
Oh yes.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next question. So, earliest memory of Power Rangers Zeo, whether it was the TV series, your first toy, anything like that. Okay, so, Scottish Red Ranger?
I did say A Brief Mystery of Time was my favourite episode, but the one episode that gave me fun memories was the one you mentioned earlier, where Tommy and Tanya were singing.
Oh, another song and dance.
I loved that, because everything was done.
Definitely another one of my favourites, because it was just so funny.
Every
Hold on, please, we're on our knees. I'll just, when I meet those two this year, I think I'm going to ask them how was it for them when they had to sing their lines instead of actually speaking normally. It was really fun.
I think you all know this, but every time the Rangers in a Morphin sequence is always like dog footage. They even sang the Morphin lines, like they were being consistent for this episode. It was really funny, so there's some fun memories.
Now, I've got a lot of interesting memories of Power Rangers Zeo. One memory was my first Power Rangers Zeo toy was a GoldKingRanger action figure. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have had it as a kid. It's it was just one of the main action figures, the first wave of action figures where you pressed a triangular mechanism at the back of the figure and it caused it to do like a spinning staff action, or for some of the other Zeo
Arm action.
Big Ranger shield spin, or slashing axes and hatchets and tonfas and things like that. Another memory I had is when, I don't know if any UK Power Ranger fans remember, but there was a Power Rangers Zeo tropical fizzy can drink. Had the red Zeo Ranger on the front, and it was just this nice fizzy drink. My mum and dad used to get it for me a lot when we were ever out and about, or they used to get it from the local shop if they sold it, which was really nice. Okay. Another memory was there used to be HP Power Rangers Zeo spaghetti shapes. And it was I remembered it, and then I actually came across a picture in my folder the other day of the can, of the fizzy drink, and also the spaghetti shapes. And whenever I used to stay at my carer's house, Sprite's house, she used to cook me the Power Rangers spaghetti on toast. It was just one of my fondest memories. And she even bought me a Power Rangers Zeo drinking cup. It was like the 6 cartoony Zeo Rangers with the logo, and it was like a blue spinny straw cup. You know those sort of straw, cups which has the straw that goes around the outside of the cup, and the straw goes into the bottom of the cup so you can drink it from the bottom and stuff. I would definitely like to get another cup like that again, because that's just one of those childhood memories. So you can, and Power Rangers Zeo, I used to watch it on GMTV. It was either Fox Kids, but I think for me it was mainly GMTV, and my dad even taped some old Power Rangers Z episodes for me on GMTV when it used to be on early morning. And I used to watch it sometimes on TV, but it was still really cool.
During that time, I was just a baby, so I had to watch Power Ranger Generations. So.
Well, I was 4 or 5 when Power Rangers Zeo came out in this country, because Power Rangers Zeo didn't come out in the UK until 1997, I believe. It came out in America in 96, and we get it a year later. So yeah, it would have been 1997. We got Power Rangers Zeo. So I think we got time for one more question. Favourite Power Rangers Zeo Zord or Megazord? Well, easy for me, really. I love Pyramidus and the Zeo Megazord. They're both called Megazord, and when they form with the Red Battlezord to make the Zeo Ultrazord, either carrier mode or just normal Ultrazord, it's just really, really cool.
Yeah, I love the Red Battlezord as well. That's one of my favourite Megazords. It looks like the Red Zeo Ranger.
I know, that's what's really cool. And then you got the Super Zeo Zords as well that have that sort of like, they look like their Ranger sort of look, which is really cool.
And I like how in Super Megaforce toy line we got like the Zeo Battle Racer, which was essentially based off Red Battlezord. I like how it was based off that. Because it was a cool Megazord.
Definitely, I really quite like that they brought that in, because it was just a really cool idea to do that as a toy. So as far as it goes, I think we really enjoyed Power Rangers Zeo, and we're curious to know from you Ranger fans is, how are you celebrating the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers Zeo this year? Are you maybe going to do what I do, which is watch the entire Power Rangers Zeo series and eat popcorn and stuff like that? Because that's what I plan to do. Well, it's what I've been doing today.
What I like of Power Rangers Zeo as well is that it feels like an evolution of the Mighty Morphin powers. Obviously, it wasn't, because obviously the Power Rangers of old were gone, but like, it felt like the series, it was an evolution of the series. Battles got more intense, we got more outer space visitors, we got some cool moments. In fact,
I think what I also liked was, I don't know if you remember, but in the power chamber, they had the Mighty Morphin suits and the weapons like a cabinet in the back of the power chamber, so you could see them, and I really loved that. And I have to say, if someone ever built a power chamber for the action figures, I would like it if they used like the Power Ranger Mighty Morphin action figures just to have in that display with their weapons. That would be just so cool.
Oh, and I love the Gold Ranger theme song.
Yeah, the Power Rangers Zeo theme song. It was cool because it had the original sort of Mighty Morphin Go Go Power Rangers sound, but also included new sounds to it and new lyrics, which made it really exciting.
But I mean, like, I love the Gold Ranger one better because it was amazing. Yeah,
but you know, you have to admit the Zeo theme is really cool.
We also, unfortunately, we got the breakup of Tommy and Kimberly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that wasn't very popular with fans, but I think Catherine and Tommy just fitted so perfectly together. They were so cute, and I really loved that couple. I mean, I think what fans had to realise, I think it was obviously upsetting for some fans. I mean, I'm an original fan of Tommy and Kimberly, but it's like, you have to recognise that, obviously, some couples, if you've got one partner that's far away, and then you've got another partner in the city, and, you know, the chances that they meet someone new and they fall in love with someone different, it happens. And I think that's what that episode was supposed to teach. And obviously they're not going to keep a relationship like that going, can they? It's not like they could have brought Kimberly back, could they? Mm-hmm. But still, anyway, we obviously, I think this time it's about wraps it up now. We'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone for listening. We hope you enjoy the celebration of Power Rangers Zeo. As always, please, you know, we hope that you'll comment below maybe your first Power Rangers Zeo episode you saw, or your first Power Rangers Zeo toy, maybe your Power Rangers Zeo memory. And is there anything you want to add, ScottishRedRanger?
Actually, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, if you're looking at the admin present section, you may want to see a little fun thing I did for the image, because it is Zeo related, so if you guys like it, it's pretty neat to see what we did there. But thank you guys for listening, and we really do hope to see you soon.
And please be sure to join us for this sort of podcast in exactly, well, not quite in a year's time, but next year we'll be doing a podcast just like this, where we will be talking about the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers Turbo, and a separate one for Power Rangers Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, which will be really cool. But for now, we'd just like to say it's a goodbye from me, GoldKingRanger, and my partner,
ScottishRedRanger.
And see you guys soon. Ta-ta for now.
Ole.
Thank you for watching, Rangers. We all hope you enjoyed this video.
Be sure to like, comment, and share this video, and check out all our other videos as well.
Remember to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date for all our more videos, and do like and follow us on Facebook for some fun and Ranger updates.
May the power protect you.
It's
Morphin
time.
time.